Hi, I'm Megan. I live in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and I love sewing and I love Fridays. It's Friday Sews, which is a series of chatty style vlogs started by Jen from in Jen's sewing room, and there's lots of vloggers who are participating. But the best way to find these videos is to search hashtag Friday Sews. Anyway, I have been busy this week, both in the sewing room and out of the sewing room. I am on vacation this week, and so I'm at home, and my daughter is at home, and my husband's at work, and my son is at daycare. And so my daughter and I have been getting into all kinds of fun trouble, but we've also been spending a lot of time at the dentist this week. So in between that, I have been working on a project that I could not get out of my head while I was on vacation. So it is the new Love Notions pattern. This is the Tempo sundress, and it is a woven sundress with wide straps, and so it touts good bra coverage with a shirred back, no closures, and then it comes in two lengths, a knee length or a midi length. And depending on how tall you are, I think that midi length can become a maxi length quite easily. You could also just cut that bottom tier a little bit longer. So this came out when I was on vacation, and so last week, sorry to back up, we were in British Columbia for the week, packing up my husband's childhood home. So we have sold his mom's house, and she has moved into long-term care. And so we were cleaning it out, and the possession transfers before the end of the month. And so it was our one last week in the house, and my kids had a wonderful time biking in the backyard, and they made friends down the street, and it was really nice. Both Gary and I grew up in really small towns, not the same town, but in small towns. And so that sort of like every yard's your backyard, running down the street, biking, that little bit of freedom our kids don't get to have because we live in a very urban neighborhood. But they got a taste of it, and it was wonderful. And while I was there, my data plan had run out. We had used all of our data. There was no more Wi-Fi at the house, but the Love Notions dress came out, and I used some precious, very slow internet that I got in the parking lot at the McDonald's to download the pattern and send it off to be printed so that it would be ready for me when I got home. And it was, and I cut that dress out, I traced the pattern off, and I cut that dress out, and I sewed most of it together on Wednesday. And then I just had one or two steps I needed to do. Thursday morning I woke up and I finished the front facing, put it on, and the dart placement wasn't great for me. So the dart was too high. So, okay, that's an easy fix. I went right into it with my fashion fabric because Love Notions patterns, I have made enough of them to know what the block is like. It's a pretty predictable fit for me. So that was like a little bit of a surprise, but it's a very fitted dress, so okay. Went right into using this crepe that I had bought, but knowing that I had 4 yards of it, so I have lots of fabric, and so I figured if I have to make a couple of bodices out of, to test, that's fine. So the dart was too high, and the shearing, I was pretty pleased with myself. My shearing, I thought, looked pretty good off the machine. It sheared a little bit tighter than I was expecting it to, so I had to play with it a little bit, but I got, some really nice shearing. And then, maroon didn't secure the elastic on the ends, so as I pulled the dress over my head, it hadn't caught in the seam allowance enough, and on several rows it just snapped and the elastics pulled out. So I did cut a new front to this dress with the lower dart. I lowered the dart by about 1 inch and a bit. So the fit is good, and then yeah, the shearing elastic snapped. So I have cut out an entirely new bodice for this dress. It's all ready to go. I had to go to Fabricland last night. I bought different shearing elastic because I read some reviews. I was using some Dritz elastic I'd ordered online from Amazon, and it's possibly either a knockoff or not very fresh stock or not very good. So I just bought some Gutermann elastic thread. So, I don't know. I was pretty happy with the shearing technique that I got, but we'll see if that makes a difference. And I'm going to try to finish it because I have a dinner date on Tuesday with a friend, and I'd love to wear this dress. I'm so excited. I am happy with the strap placement. The straps are wide enough. They do cover my bra in the front. Not in the back, but I think that's more to do with my bra than the pattern. I don't think my bra fits me very well, but such is buying bras online during a pandemic. when you've been nursing for 30 months and have really no idea what size bra you wear. I need to go for a fitting. So anyway, that you should see that next week, hopefully. The other thing I wanted to talk about was the dress that I'm wearing right now. So this isn't a new make. So this is a dress that I made last summer, but I thought I would show it to you because I often wonder how, and I'm one of those people too that produces a lot, like I make a lot of clothes, and so how could you possibly wear, when you have 15 sundresses? How could you possibly wear 15 sundresses? Especially since I tend to default to wearing the same things over and over again. And there are some dresses that I have made this spring that are still hanging in my closet waiting to be worn because I'm at home most of the time and all I'm wearing is t-shirts and leggings or pull-on linen pants or whatever. But this dress is one that I have worn quite a few times. So this is the Pattern Emporium Spellbound dress, and I made it in the maxi length. And I think this dress is sensational. So I made this out of it's a crepe knit. I'm gonna hike it up. It's a crepe knit, almost like a Liverpool, I guess. It's smooth on one side and then it's got a bit of a bumpy texture. My aunt referred to it as fortrell, and I didn't hem it because it doesn't ravel. I am pretty sure this would survive a bomb going off. I've washed it a bunch. The colors have not faded. The black has not faded. It is in exactly the same shape and size as it was when I made it a year ago. A year ago, my measurements were slightly smaller in the upper bust and bust as well as the waist, but I still think this dress is so flattering. It also has a really cool technique. So there is no waist seam. So you cut the front piece and the back piece all in one, and it's got this beautiful swishy hem, but it's a fabric hog. And so I was looking at it and I'm like, how am I gonna get that wide bottom maxi skirt out of a width of fabric? And the pattern is designed so that there are triangle godets or gores sewn in on the side seams so that you can cut the maxi skirt to the width of your fabric, and then you cut off the corner and then you cut out a hem extension piece. And honestly, no one has ever noticed it. Maybe I'll take the dress off and put a photo of it. No one has ever noticed it, and it opened my eyes to a whole new range of options for maxi skirts and saving fabric. And how much fabric do you really need? Because this technique you could use if you wanted to make a fuller skirt than your fabric with the fabric, and instead of putting the seam up the front, you're just short by a little bit. So this is a great technique. I think it's aces. I think this dress, because it has no waist seam, it's important that your measurements are accurate and so that it's smooth and adjusting it. There's nowhere to sort of make those adjustments, so you got to make sure that the hip and waist flow, and it's fitted through the waist and then it falls from the hip down. And I just think on my pear-shaped figure, like, it is such a flattering dress. I feel tall. I am tall, as I've mentioned before. I'm 5'9", but I feel long in this dress. I feel curvy. I feel it's a knockout. So I have worn this to the office a couple times over the past year when I've gone into work. I've worn it to at least 2 barbecues. I've worn it out for dinner. I wore it to the grocery store. Today I'm going to wear it like hanging around my house. The only thing I don't love about it is the fabric is rough textured because it's polyester and it doesn't breathe very well. So when it's snug through the bust and underarm, like, it gets a bit sweaty, and it is a rougher texture. But my neckline has wobbled a little bit just because it, from stretching it when I was sewing it, I think. But yeah, I love this dress. So if you're looking for something, I also feel pretty glam in it. Like, I think that the maxi dress often has sort of like a boho, a breezy cut, and this doesn't. This has a very curvaceous shape to it. And I feel very glamorous. So I think if you're looking for that, if you want something, try something a little bit different. I love the cap sleeves. There's a number of sleeve options. Check out the Spellbound dress. I'll put a link in the description box. It is an affiliate link. So if you don't want to use it, just Google it. But yeah, it's from Pattern Emporium and I love it. And that leads me to the last thing that I have to talk about, which is my cousin is getting married. And so they had gotten engaged right like days before everything started shutting down in Canada and the borders closed. They were in Hawaii and they got engaged and they were planning a wedding in Mexico. So starting to get really excited. And then as the pandemic stretched on and on, the couple thought maybe that wasn't realistic. So they'll go to Mexico at some other point or something, but they decided that they would elope instead. So they planned an elopement for early August, and unfortunately, you know, the number of people they could have attend was really small, and so I totally understood. And then the restrictions have changed here, so we were invited to the wedding, and so my extended family is going to be there, and I'm so excited, and I'm so excited that I get to be there for them as they make their vows and start their life together. I mean, they've been living together for some time, but as they take this step, and that they know that everybody that is there to support them in their life as they move forward. But I need something to wear. So the wedding is in like a really cool speakeasy style nightclub that they've rented, and it's in it's called Sub Rosa, and so it's in like the basement underneath an old building. I'm really jazzed. I asked the bride what the dress code was, and she said formal, but I don't think she means formal like, Megan, you should go get a gown, but like dressy. It's not a sundresses and flip-flops wedding, I don't think. So I wonder if any of you have any suggestions for a dress that would fit the bill that I could make out of a Ponte or a Liverpool knit, because I have a ton of really beautiful dark floral, dressy floral double knits. So I have some scuba, I have some Liverpool, I have some Ponte that would be, that you think would, that you've seen, that you thought that yes, that would be great. It needs to go up to a 50-inch hip, so extended size range is awesome. It could be, I have a decent amount of fabric, so I guess it could be a floor length, but I was thinking, you know, midi length or knee length or high-low hem, I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts and your ideas. And please leave your comments, and then I will go through your suggestions, and maybe we'll chat about it next week. I have 3 weeks to make this dress, and I think that's why I'm going for a knit, because it's just frankly easier to fit. I can make a knit bodice out of some whatever I have kicking around in the stash and fit it, do the fit check, and then know that with that stretch it gives me a little bit of wiggle room, literally and figuratively, so that I can get a dress that fits, that I feel great in. Yeah, so I'm so excited. I love my extended family, my aunts and uncles and cousins so much. They're such a big part of my life, and to be included on that day, I mean, we were just so happy for them anyway, but that we actually get to go, I'm so excited. I also need a babysitter, but we'll sort that out. So anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. If it's Friday, happy weekend. If it's not when you're watching, happy whatever day it is. And I will see you again soon.